Hello, this is Mr. Frazier, and I'm going to talk to you about what your child can do to improve their scores on tests. The topics we're going to talk about are how do I do test corrections, how do I retake a test, and I was absent and missed, or I need to retake a test when. I'm going to add to this a fourth one about how do I study for a test. All right, so real briefly, I'll go ahead and put these up. The test corrections are very specific. There is a video on the portal page specific to Chapter 1's test corrections. So I go through kind of like a little review video as well as describe these outcomes as well. That they are to, one, write out the original question on their own paper, and that may include an actual picture that goes with it. B, they're supposed to tell me what they were supposed to know to get it right. C, of course, is to have the right answer. And I did a correction video online, so they're able to watch that video and see when I talk about the questions they need to answer. And I give them hints of things that they were supposed to know or supposed to do. All right. Second, how do I retake a test? Well, there's a couple steps. One, you have to have the test corrections finished, okay, and turned into me, and I check them and give them back. Second of all, or B, you should have the skill practice for the chapter work we're on completed. Okay, in the skill practice book they were given the very first day of class. It is the one book they should be bringing back and forth to school with them. You may never have seen it, but the cover says skill practice, and it looks very similar to their textbook. So please make sure that they read it very carefully, and it says skill practice. And then C, they have to arrange to come after school. I'm here till 3 p.m. every day and 6 p.m. on Mondays. Okay? So they are able to come on any day that they wish. All right, next is I was absent and missed, or I need to retake a test when. If you're absent for tests and makeups, they're done the same. Once you miss a test, you get one chance, and it's because you have extra time to study, just like you do for a makeup. You have extra time to study. You don't have to take a test by a certain date. But you do have to take the test before we proceed to the next chapter. If you miss the occasional quiz, we don't make up any quizzes. They're always excused from a makeup quiz. Okay? We don't do quizzes after school. I don't make up any of the quizzes. And we don't have many quizzes to begin with, except for the ones that are on the Carnegie Tutor. And then the last but not least is you must take the makeup or retake the test before we take the next chapter's test. So, for example, we're in Chapter 1 right now. They have until we take Chapter 2's test, and then once we take Chapter 2's test, they are no longer able to make up Chapter 1. All right. So how do we study for our test? Well, on their web page, I have a title that says Online Test Review. And either the day before or 2 days before, I spend an hour reviewing with students online live for about an hour. The last one started at 7:30 and it went to 8:30. It's an Illuminate session. It'll be something they click on. They'll use their R2D2 and password to log in. Again, there's a video on how to set their Java preferences so they don't have any problems logging into the Illuminate software, because it's going to say the Java settings are too high, the security settings, so you got to lower those. But then they will be able to ask me questions. I go over what they will see on the test. I basically study with them the night before or 2 nights before. If your child happens to miss any of it, it is recorded. So I then post that recording after the live lesson. The advantage of doing it 2 days before is the fact that then the night before they still have the ability to go back and watch the same review a second time, and you don't have to necessarily assist them in what they're studying for. All right, thank you very much, and have a good evening.